I'm all in on getting my first 6-star champion here on this free-to-play account. The champion's gonna be Supreme Galek. He's an absolute monster. I'll talk a little bit more about that later in the video, so make sure you stay tuned to that. I'm gonna talk about how we're gonna do it, why we're gonna do it, and all those great things here in today's video. Let's hop in. So I'm just logging in for the first time here today, and you notice we're full on energy. I need to use that energy. The biggest thing about getting your first 6-star champion is constantly using your energy. And right now, and I mean all of my energy is going into farming. I'm currently farming up 4-star food. I'll talk about food a little bit more. You might know what food is, but some of you guys are new and some of you guys have recently joined us here on the channel, and that's a good thing. And maybe you don't know how to get food or what food is and how to get your first 6-star champion or how to get free champions. Did I mention you can get a free legendary and 3 of the best epics in the game for free? Let me tell you how while I run out this energy. Log out of your Polarium Play on your PC, or if you've never had Raid installed on your phone, go ahead and install using the link in the description. After clicking the link in the description, use a brand new email to register for Polarium Play. Then go ahead and launch Raid, complete the tutorial as normal, and then go to your inbox and claim your first champion. Here we go, guys. You'll find Elderwill in your inbox, and as you level up 10, 20, 30, you'll find some amazing epic champions like Ugo and Rector Giraffe as you level up your account in your inbox. This is an amazing way to start your Raid account, so click that link down there in the description and get started today. Yeah, so you guys can start off with an amazing start, but also you can start off with Supreme Galek, who's actually my farmer right now and really, really good. And let's talk about why I want to take him up to 6-star, and it's just because he's a really good beginner champion, late game champion. I don't know if he's actually like super end game, like when you start getting some of the crazy stuff, but this guy is just an absolute monster. Whenever he receives all those debuffs, he instantly removes it and fully heals him and grants an extra turn. That's just his passive. He's got attack all enemies, has an extra 10% chance of inflicting a critical hit. So on this one, he technically only needs 90% crit rate, and then has 75% chance to place an HP burn and block buffs. That means they can't get buffs on him for 2 turns, and a decreased speed on target whose turn meters are higher than 50%. There's gonna HP burn, block buff, slow people down, and you can get that up to 100% chance on the HP burn, block buffs. This makes him amazing. Early game clan boss, late game Hydra, early game Hydra. This makes him really good all around. A lot of dungeons with that HP burn, the decreased speed. He's so good. And then he's got increased attack here. He's got it activating the HP burns. There's just like so many good things in here along with everything else that he has. So why do we need to take him up from 5 stars to 6 stars? That's a big question, right? Why do we even need to do this? Well, it's all about the stats, and you get crazy boosts. If we take a look over there, you can see at 5-star, he has a base of 12,270 hit points. At 6-star, base 17,000 hit points. That's a big boost, almost 5,000. His attack goes up almost 50%. From 1,077 to 1,509. Defense, not as big of a deal, but still about a third up. 680 goes up to 936. Speed stays the same, crit rate stays the same, but he even gains 13 crit damage and even a little bit of accuracy in there. So that's why taking him up makes a big difference. Now that's from the index. I'm assuming those stats are accurate. Hopefully they are, but that's the big thing there is we get that huge boost, and it's going to make our team stronger all around. So that 6-star, that first 6-star, super important. Even getting that second 6-star, which is gonna be Ugo, super important to support the team. And then from there, we can build out more champions. So I wanna get him up to 6-star. I think I just rambled a little bit there, that's okay. So what am I gonna do to do that? Well, when I log in, I need to go to the shop and get my free pack. Every day we get free packs. Today's pack has energy. All of my energy right now is going into exactly what I was just doing. Farm runs. We need to farm up food. Oh, look at that. We got some incubuses in there. That's okay. We need to farm up food. And what that means is we're going to take our lower ranked champions. You see, I got 4-star uncommons, 4-star, 2-star champions here, which that was a little bit confusing. And the reason is because they are going to go up to 5 stars, and he's going to eat them alive so he can go up to 6 stars. We need 5 of those. And how we're going to do that is, well, we're going to get 4-star people and then feed them into another 4-star that's up to level 40. And we're just going to keep that process going. So these incubuses, they're level 20, 2 stars. We're going to rank them up to 3 stars. And we're going to continue that process up the chain. And we're going to keep working these champions up. This is known as food. My favorite, I always use the incubus. You can do this with commons, you can do this with uncommons. I like to do with one of the same champion if you can, just because it's just easier to kind of keep track of. You can even do it with 1 stars up to 2 star, and you can kind of just chain. And the nice thing is, like, the 1 stars on hard, it's 2 super raids on 12-6 for me. So it's pretty good, and we're able to farm hard with just our Supreme Galek. So that's why I like him really early here. So we're gonna create all of this food here and work them up, and then again, after we get those guys up, we can use those 1 stars to feed them the 2 stars. It doesn't matter. You can take the 1 stars all the way up to 6 stars if you want, or take them all the way up to 5 stars and feed them. It doesn't matter. It's all about just the food chain here. And it's a really unique thing. If you're unaware of how it works in Raid Shadow Legends, that's one of the most important things you need to know, is how food works. But this is how we're going to get those champions up. See, we're going to go ahead. We got him up to level 40. We're going to feed in 4 of these 4-star foods, and then we're going to go ahead and take him up to 5-star. So now he can be used to feed. Oh, he's on tag team defense. We'll fix that. That's okay. He can be used to feed into Supreme Galek when we get 5 pieces of food. And that's what I'm all in for right now. It's going to take us a little bit. It's going to take us a couple days to do this probably, because again, we are kind of playing free to play here, but we're just going to keep that process going of farming these dungeons. So we got 1 guy up. I'm just going to farm 12-6 here. And these 3 will give us 4. Remember, we need 5 total. So go ahead and let's work on these. Let's use up our energy and let it run. And I'll show you my Supreme Galek build after this, but I've showed it in the past. It's nothing crazy because we're still pretty early game. So this is his build, and I did make some changes just to get him closer to 100% hit crit rate. We're at 94% crit rate. He just hits a little bit harder. But one thing I found myself doing is one of the mistakes I said not to make was I was starting to focus on upgrading too many champions to 5 stars. We have 4 5-star champions. Easy for me to say, right? We got Galek, Ugo, Alice, and Eleanor. So we got 3 attackers and 1 support champion here. And really, like, I kind of get excited because we got Alice, and I was like, oh, I need to get her up. But really, we would have been fine with Eleanor. So I wasted some resources in Alice, and I was about to take Rector Drath up. I was about to take Kale up, but I was like, wait, what am I doing? I need to get a 6-star champion. So we're focusing on Supreme Kale. We're slowing things down. We're all in on him. Like, even other parts of the game, I'm not really worried about too much. Like, I was really going hard on the missions. You can see how far we've gotten in the missions. Like, we're almost done with the second piece, and I was working on ascending Alice to level 5, but we took a step back. We're focusing on things. But what we need to do is we need to find energy. We've talked about ways to spend your energy and free energy, but arena takes no energy, so we can run out some arena, and it doesn't matter if we win or lose. Obviously, we'd like to win, but I'm just gonna run 5 quick arena battles here and just let them go. You know what I mean? And just get more energy, more free energy. We almost have those 4 champions up to full on 4-star. So we're getting really close to having 3 more pieces of food, but then we got to get those baby pieces up as well. So it's gonna be a little bit of process. We might lose this battle. It's okay. We're here for the energy. I'm not too concerned if we win though. I told you guys we were gonna win that one. I told you we were gonna win that one. All right, so we fought an arena. We got more energy. We're full up on energy, and we can get some more food going. We can get these guys finished up, but we are starting to get low on other champions. And one of the nice things is when you run these campaign stages, you actually have a chance at getting shards. You can see here, we got a chance. Yeah, my head's out of the way. We got a chance at rare champions that could be used as food, incubuses, and even little green shards. So we can use all of that in the process. And one note I wanted to throw in here is be careful in your levels. If they're close to leveling up, turn off super raids and watch it so you don't waste that energy. That's one thing I learned, but they still probably have at least 1.5, 2 runs left. So we'll see. Speaking of, we just got a 3-star piece of food, but look how close they are there. What I'm actually going to do is part of our next plan here is we're starting to get low on champions, right? Like we got some food in there. And honestly, since these guys are really close, I feel like what we can do is we can just bring them in here. And if we throw in 1 common, which commons are common to come by, yeah, we can level them up rather than waste more energy. We're going to do it that way. Okay, so that's what we're doing here with this. But now that we're low on champions, we got to go summon, and that's another way where we can get some free 3 stars to use as well. But since we're really early game, you got to be careful on what rares you're feeding, because some of these rares might actually be really, really useful, which we'll talk about in another video really soon. But now we have our 4 pieces of food. So if we get these 4 leveled up to 5 stars, we can feed them all into Supreme Galek. Remember, we got this guy in there. If we get these 4 in, we can level them up. So let's go over here, and we do have the summon boost on. We're waiting for 2 times ancients or voids or whatever. We're just gonna pop off these, and this is just going to fill us up with food that we can farm up again. All right. It doesn't matter what we get here. We don't actually care what we get here. This is just part of the food process, part of getting our first 6-star champion, which we're getting closer and closer to each second of the day. And honestly, I probably should have been going harder on this. I was running a lot of dungeons and other stuff. One note here also I was thinking about the other day, don't ever use, not early, like free to game early, don't use gems if you're going to do that. If you have the silver, do that, but just use these guys up if you don't have this silver. But early game, don't use the gems on that stuff. But let's see where we can get more energy if we complete all this stuff. This one's the tough one. Yeah, this one, we're not quite there, depending on what faction wars we have today. But that's another way we can get more energy. What do we got? We got Barb, Shadowcan. Yeah, I don't think we get there today. That's okay. That's okay. Let me go run out some energy. And I always run 12-3 or 12-6 because that's just what I know from when I used to play. Things are changed or different now. Please feel free to let me know down there in the comment section. But that's just kind of what I know, and that's why I run those, whether it be on hard or brutal or whatever. That's just what I know. If there's a better place to farm, I don't think there is. But if there is, just let me know in the comments section. Times change. That's okay. All right, so we ran out the energy. We actually leveled up, so I got another full refill of energy, and then we're just waiting for our 60-minute reward so we can get more energy. But in the process, I forgot to check the Guardian Ring. We got someone maxed in there, which is nice, and we got a slot open, which I'm slacking here today. I'm slacking, and honestly, I think I kind of just want to put some food in here. Part of this working really well is if you start them all at the same time, it works out really nicely, so that'll be good. So we're just gonna wait for that reward. We'll run out some more food, but we did get those 3 stars that I was talking about, which we got Hound Spawn and Diabolist, which honestly, I don't even really know what they do, but I just know they're so easily available that I'm not worried about feeding them, because anytime we farm like this, these are the most accessible champions in the game. So right now, my #1 priority is Supreme Galek, getting him to 6 stars. So those guys, they can go by the wayside. We're not building any rares for the time being. We're just focusing on getting some things up. I just noticed she's level 20. Let's go and let's upgrade her. And then we just need to get some more food, man. We just got to keep cooking up some food. I'm working on these incubuses. I'll be back. More free energy, more free food. And then after running, we're left with some incubuses and then some close to full incubuses. But one thing you do with those 1-star champions, especially if you have a lot of green shards, is you can just use them to kind of top off, save some of that energy. Now this will cost you just a little bit of gold, or silver rather, not too much, just a little teensy bit. Not that guy, these guys, and then we can rank them up. Yeah, look at that, we got more food, guys. Look at that, we're going. And then we got our passive free food going in the sparring pit. We're cooking. So I just wanted to talk about this because we always talk about, like, you need to get your first 6-star champion, all that kind of great stuff, but I don't know, or if I have, it's been a long time since I've talked about how to actually get your first 6-star champion. So I wanted to talk about that here today for you guys. I'm going to keep summoning and feeding, and tomorrow I hope we have our first 6-star champion. We'll see.